Hi guys. Hey, how are you? It's been a minute. It's LaShanda Henry here, aka Sister Sense, jumping on to share some smart solutions when it comes to your sanity and your success. Some things that I personally am doing to kind of balance out those two things. So I am super, super excited to be hanging out with you guys today. Yay! If you're a girl boss, feel free, whether you're watching live or via the replay, to let me know who you are, where you are, and what you are up to today. Feel free to check in and say, hey, Sister Sense, I would love to see and hear from you. And of course, if you are catching me on the replay side, always remember to drop into the comment box, hashtag replays rock. Now, let me say this. If somebody sent you here, it's possible that you're like, who's this chick here? Who is this woman that I'm looking at right now with the long locks? Well, again, LaShanda Henry, aka Sister Sense. I've been online for almost 20 years now, doing a lot of things, being an information entrepreneur, being a mentor to other aspiring women entrepreneurs, and just loving my life as a web designer and graphics designer too. So I am excited to jump on here and talk to you about your sanity and your yes. All right. So yay, excited about that today. I'm gonna see if I could, as quickly as possible, jump on Instagram as well, if you don't mind, so I can go live on both platforms. And hopefully my live works well for me. The last time it was like popping in and out. So let me know, for those of you who are checking in with me right now, are you feeling sane? Are you feeling sane? Hey, Mentor Shelly, so awesome to see you here, my dear. Are you feeling sane right now? And, are you feeling like you're about to lose your mind? Because trust me, I know I have those moments myself. I took like a little week and a half hiatus from live stream, and really from the web, to be honest with you. I haven't been on the line as often as I tend to be. And I want to talk about that with you guys today. And also, are you feeling successful? Are you feeling successful? Are you feeling like you're where you want to be, and you're working on the things that you want to work on? So feel free to check in with me. For those of you who are here, let me know, number one, are you feeling sane? Or number two, are you feeling successful? So let me jump onto Instagram as well so we can talk about this fun conversation for today, your sanity and your success. And I can share 7 solutions that help me. So let me jump on Instagram as well. It's connecting. Yes. On Instagram, on Facebook, talking about 7 solutions to sanity and success for my fellow girl bosses out there. So number one, first thing that I want to do is talk to you about listening. I need you to listen to yourself, right? And I have to listen to me right now. As I told myself, you shouldn't wear your you shouldn't wear your grandma dress this morning. When you reach of a certain age that you're like, look, okay, everything just needs to be comfortable and hang where it needs to hang. I'm in my house dress this morning. That's the age that I'm in. The cute pajamas and the booty shorts were good in my 20s. Now that I'm close to 40, I need to be in my house dress. Stuff be hanging out on the sides. But anyway, let me get real. Let me get serious. The first thing that you need to do is to listen to yourself when it comes to your sanity and your success, right? A lot of times we push ourselves to either the detriment of our personal or professional business. And there was something really interesting. Yesterday, my hubby was driving to pick up my son, and he was super, super exhausted, and he fell asleep. And God willing, God, thank you, Jesus, he slightly bumped someone's car, when you hit somebody from the rear. But she was good. Her car was good. He's got to fix his front a little bit, but it was very mild, right? And I said to him, listen, if you're tired, I could have went. He was like, I know you had a client webinar at 4. I was going to do it. And I said, but you got to listen to your body. Like sleeping, driving, no, those things don't mix, right? So you got to think about that. Number one, how are you listening to your body and yourself when your mind is like, yes, I can go, and your body is like, no. right? So a little over a week and a half, I've basically been taking a serious break. I haven't been online as much. I haven't been doing email. I haven't been on live stream, even though I was like, LaShanda, every single day I need you to do live. Da, 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 da. My body was like, boo, no, you need to curl up in the corner. You need to take a break. You need to relax. You need to take several naps, eat good food, and just enjoy yourself. Even if it's a guilty pleasure, even if you feel slightly guilty about it, that's what you got to do. So let me ask you, are you guys listening to yourself? Are you listening to your body? Are you just in a space where you're highly driven and your mind is telling you no, yes, and your body's telling you no, and you're not listening to your body, right? One of my favorite statements is you need to break before broken. Break before broken. And that's a powerful thing. It's powerful because, I said to my hubby, that could have been worse. I said, it's honestly, I said to God this morning, I was like, thank God for that accident yesterday. Thank God. Thank God, because it could have been worse. I'm glad that was the accident, that he tapped somebody's bumper. He kind of nodded off and was like, you drive and you get tired, you nod off. And I'm glad that was the accident, that it wasn't a 5-car pileup, that it wasn't something extreme where people lost their lives and I lost my loved ones because of that. I said, listen, if you're tired, do not get on the road. Take a nap. I will go pick him up from school if you can't, right? So we've got to listen to our bodies, because sometimes it can end up in a small issue, but those small things can become big things, right? He was like, oh yeah, I know I was feeling a little tired, but I know you were busy, so I was going to pick him up. Sometimes we push ourselves too much. Mentor Shelly says, my mind is pushing, but my body does need a break. Listen, you got to be real with yourself, right? One of my clients, I said, listen, you need to cruise it up for the both of us. She's on a cruise right now with her family for a week. And I'm like, yes. I said, I'll see you there. See you there. You got to be in a space, right? Motivate Her says, yes, ma'am. You've got to be in a space where you listen to your body and you listen to yourself if you want to keep that sanity and continue to work towards your success, right? Break before broken. Write that down somewhere. Got to take a break before you break yourself, right? You break yourself, you break your business, you break your mind. And those are things we don't want to happen. So listen to yourself. Good breaks, always important. Number one. Number two, understand the difference between your high expectations and your personal limitations. Because there's a difference, right? We are highly driven. We have so many things we expect ourselves to do, but you've got to find the balance between the two, your high expectations, right? And your personal limitations. So let me talk about the business side. Last month, I had so much fun. I hosted what I call my Jump 30-day marketing challenge. Then I jumped into the new month and said, new month, new challenge. Yeah, I'm doing a sales challenge. I'm doing a 7 days of deals challenge, which by the way is so awesome, over at sistersense.com/7 days. For 7 days, I want to share some awesome deals with you guys, some good resources. Hey, Lavon, my girl is in the building. Hello. Hey, Shanita, great morning to you as well, my dear. So listen, anyway, let me say this. If you want to check out 7 days of deals and you haven't yet, you can go to sistersense.com/7 days. All right. Somebody feel free to drop that into the comment box for me if you don't mind. All right. But I'm sharing that to say this. I started the month with the intention of doing the sales challenge and the 7 days of deals and all of these things, and people are signing up and I'm like, yay. And then my energy was like, boo. My energy was like, boo. And then on top of that, I said, okay, I'm going to do these things every single day. So every day for 7 days, I'm going to send out these deals manually. Every day for 31 days, I'm going to send out these sales recommendations manually, do the recordings, do the links, send out the emails, boom, 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 boom. And yes, I had these high expectations, but I had personal limitations, right? I'm a diabetic, number one. And I'm going to be honest with you, full disclosure, I don't do as much as I should be doing with my health is concerned. And don't tell me that I need to do da-da-da-da. I know. Trust me, I know. But there's that, right? Me being honest with myself around that. And with that comes fatigue and anxiety, and some days you're high and then the next day you're like sugar crash, however you phrase it. And then there were all these wonderful things happening in my family. My kids got things going on. We've got graduations and I'm moving and I'm doing all these things. And my body was like, boo, you're tired, right? Which went to number one, which number one was listen to your body when you need to take a good break, right? But then number two, understand your high expectations and your limitations. I want you to identify for yourself some things that maybe you're putting on your plate right now because you're like, yeah, boo, I got to do this. And you've got all of these things that you're putting on your plate right now, but you're not in a position to do all those things right now. I mean, just real talk. You've got a lot that you want to do. You've got these high expectations for you, but you also have to balance out your personal limitations. Now, I push myself and I'm always like, girl, you're going to do all of these amazing things. And I want you to identify those things that you're like, yeah, you girl, you're going to do this. But I also know when I have to look like, listen, LaShanda, you ain't gonna do all this right now. So I was really anxious because I was supposed to start the sales challenge and I didn't. And people signed up for the sales challenge and I was like, oh, I haven't started yet. And it was maybe 2 or 3 days. But then I said, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to postpone the sales challenge. So either you can say you don't want it or you want to stay in it. And folks were like, yeah, I want to stay in it. I'm ready. And then I said, listen, okay, people started emailing me, LaShanda, where are my deals? Where are my daily deals? I hadn't done that yet, right? So you know what I did? I went to my personal go-to. My personal go-to is automation. Automation. I told myself my high expectation was every day to do these things manually. But the reality was 2-3 days into it, I was tired and I wasn't doing a lot and I was trying to take breaks and take lots of naps and I hadn't started yet. So I said, okay, LaShanda, can you automate it? And I did. So that now the 7 days are going out automatically and all of that stuff is done and I don't have to do it every single day manually, right? So here's the deal with that. I want you to identify those high expectations that you have for yourself. Some of them are great. And if you're doing it and you're pushing yourself and you're feeling good, fine. But if you're not feeling good and there are delays and you're hung up in some way, identify where the delays are, identify where the anxiety is coming from and fix it, right? So I was feeling a little bit anxious because I hadn't started those things yet, the challenge. I hadn't started the 7 days of deals. And in order to get to a good place, you got to identify the anxiety and come up with a solution. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to do these 7 days every day manually. I'm going to automate it so that I can sit down for, an hour or two, get it done. And I know that it's going out automatically without me doing it every morning. Even though I had the best of intention of doing that, you have to identify your personal limitations. So feel free, guys, check in with me. Think about that. What are some of your high expectations that maybe are causing you to be anxious or delay or procrastinate and not get certain things done that you need to check? And what can you do to balance out, right, your superpowers? Because there are some things that I do and I'm awesome at it, right? And there are some things that, sometimes I don't have the time and I have a full plate and I'm feeling overwhelmed, that I adjust, right? I fix it, and I keep it moving. As I'm sharing these things with you, as part of this conversation around 7 solutions to keep your sanity and maintain your success, one of the things that I want to talk about is focus and being in a space where you can focus forward. I've been working on so many wonderful challenges. One of them is the 5 days of focus, the Focus Forward Challenge. And that's actually one of the things that you'll learn about as part of the 7 days of deals. There's a link in there so you can get a great rate if you want to participate in that challenge. But one of the ways that I focus and I'm always consistently moving forward is I acknowledge where I'm anxious, right? I acknowledge where I'm hung up or there's a delay and something needs to be fixed, and I fix it. I don't sit with the bubble guts. I don't sit with the anxiety. I'm a solution-based kind of a girl. So if you find yourself being hung up and every day you're not doing what you need to do and you just consistently are feeling bad, you need to fix it, right? So as opposed to me feeling overwhelmed and saying, okay, LaShanda, you said you were going to do all these things. You put all these things on your plate. Now you got to do all of these things. I said, look, you got to go from full plate to fully focused. So a few things take off the plate. I postponed the sales challenge. I said, look, I love y'all. If you want to stay in it, great. But the sales challenge is coming. It was postponed. And then I automated the 7 days of deals so that I didn't have to do it every day, but it was going out consistently. I found the solutions to remove some of that anxiety, remove some of that daily work, and work with what worked for me. WWW, work what works, right? So I want us to have this conversation so you can just me just documenting and sharing some of the processes that I'm personally using to really manage sanity and success and keeping on when I'm feeling anxiety or fatigue and I want to stop. And just in me writing down the things that I'm doing that are working for me, hopefully this is an opportunity for you to check in with yourself, identify where you need some help and support, identify where maybe you're putting a lot on your plate, identify where you need to focus forward and get some assistance or get better at doing those things. So the Focus Forward Challenge, ladies absolutely love it. It's one of several resources and solutions that I have for you as part of the 7 days of deals. So when you go there over at www.sistersense.com/the 7 days, you'll get 7 days of awesome deals and awesome resources from me. 5 days of focus, one of many, right? You get daily deals and daily steals. So listening to yourself. Hey, my sis is here. My big sis Firecracker is jumping on. Yes. You get to jump in and check me out doing one of these awesome lives. Hey, Dryer Buzz. So good to have you here, my dear Yolanda. Awesome. I was just going to do Facebook, and then I said, let me jump on Instagram simultaneously and do both of these. So yes, Jen, I'm using the tripod that I told you about. So I've got my phone on the tripod, and I got my laptop up as well. So definitely get that Amazon tripod if you haven't done that as well. There's so many awesome web tools that I love to use, y'all. And I've got this awesome mobile tripod that I'm always raving about. And if you go to sistersense.com/top tools, you'll see this beautiful list of gadgets and goodies that I use. Right now, I'm using my Samsung Chromebook to do the Facebook, and I'm using my iPhone on the mini tripod, all of which, by the way, are a part of the top tools list that I've got over there. So just a side note, feel free, anybody, to drop that into the comment box, but that's one of my awesome tools. So sanity and success, I talked about listening to your body. You need good breaks. And I've taken not a guilt-free, because I've been guilty about just kind of sitting there and doing nothing, but watching a lot of Hulu, and talking to a few clients, but really taking a super break right now, which is hilarity. Now, for my mothers, happy belated Mother's Day. Happy belated Mother's Day. I'm going to tell you guys a really funny story. Okay. So Mother's Day came, and, Mother's Day, you wake up, you call everybody, hey, happy Mother's Day. Da, 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 da. I was not there. I was like, you know what I want to do? I want to curl up in the corner and not talk to anyone, right? So my hubby was like, where are we going to go? You want to go out to dinner? Every place is going to be crazy. Tell me what you want to do quickly. And I was like, I don't want to do anything. You see those bananas over there that are going bad? When your bananas get really, really ripe and they get dark, I was like, I need you to put them in some flour, fry them up, make me some fritters. They're like flour pancakes. They're Caribbean. I love them. Make me some banana fritters and give those to me. Give me some orange juice and leave me the hell alone. He was like, that's all you want? I was like, that's all I want. He was like, okay, look, I called my mom. I spoke to your grandmother. I spoke to my mother. I spoke to your mother. Call people. I said, I'm not calling anyone. He said, call your aunt. I was like, listen, you don't understand. I don't want to talk to anyone right now. This is my Mother's Day. I want to sit in the corner, eat these damn banana fritters, watch Hulu, and do nothing else, right? And for the most part, I did that. And then, my cousin texted me. So I was like, happy Mother's Day. And then he was like, your younger cousin texts you, and you're letting the babies text you and say Mother's Day. You're supposed to be on this, LaShanda. So I was like, fine. So I texted a few people, happy Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day. But I was like, I don't want to talk to anybody. And then his brother calls me, and I'm like, I don't see that. I don't see the phone ringing. I don't see the phone ringing. Go back to Hulu. So anyway, I had a beautiful conversation with big sis Jen. We talked for about 2 hours, which was absolutely what I needed. I so needed that. And that was unexpected. And then my mother calls because they had like a Mother's Day brunch, right? And then she proceeds to hand the phone to like 5 aunts and uncles and babies. Like the 9-year-old is like, hey, auntie, da, da, da. And I'm like, ah. So basically everybody who I avoided talking to that morning, I ended up talking to because they had a family brunch. And my mom was like, talk to your grandmother, talk to this aunt, talk to your cousin, talk to this uncle. This is Uncle da-da-da. This is their birthday. So it was absolutely hilarious. But I say that to say this. The reality of the situation was I knew what I wanted, and I didn't want to talk to anybody. I wanted to be left alone. I wanted my food. And for a good portion of the day, I got what I wanted. So it's so important for you to identify. You want to keep your sanity. And, I love Jay. I love his fam. I really wasn't in the mood to have like a talk with my brother-in-law. But, later on that evening, I called him back and we had a really good conversation. So I ended up being on the phone for hours with family, whether I wanted to or not. But they all ended up to be really beautiful conversations. They happened in what I like to say, divine right timing, and not a minute sooner. I got the time that I needed to be alone and be, eat my good food and be quiet and be in my space. And then when was needed, I talked to exactly who I was supposed to talk to. This is about sanity and success. And a lot of you are either putting a lot on your plate, or you're forcing yourself to do things because other people are telling you to do those things. And those are not things that you want to do, right? It's funny because what I wanted to do this morning was to get cute for you and put on one of my orange shirts. And I was like, look, I am in my house dress and it's 8:39 in the morning and I'm going to stay in my damn house dress. I don't care if I look like a hot mess. It is what it is. It is what it is. That's what I want to do this morning. I want to be in my house dress this morning. And being in a space where I said, you know what? Screw it. Look, I don't want to do any work this week. And I've done very little work this week. I've really not been on Facebook. I've not been on Instagram. I've not been doing emails because I'm taking a break. But one of the things that I love about being in a space of success is you put systems in place so that even when you're not working, your business is still working. So I said to you guys, if you've seen it, great. But if you haven't seen it, I love the little laugh, smiley faces and those cutie emojis. Thank y'all. Feel free to share this out if anybody who needs a little mini break and needs, somebody in your circle who needs to talk about sanity and success. Feel free to just say, come on. That's what this is about. My 7 days of deals, it's at www.sizzlesense.com/7 days. So, I'm talking about money, marketing, and sales all the time, right? So if you want some of my resources, my courses, my tools, and you want to get them at great rates, look, I have amazing deals for you over 7 days. Go to www.sizzlesense.com/7 days. Okay. Now here's the deal. For the last 7 days, I've been, in the bed watching Hulu, doing a little bit of work, but not a lot of work because I needed to take a break. Good breaks are important. But in the process, honestly, there have been quite a few people who are like, oh my God, LaShanda, I am loving these deals. And I'm seeing ladies grabbing this and grabbing that, and they're happy and I'm happy because I'm taking a break. But that sanity, the success is still coming through, right? So I realized that one of the things that works really well for me in the back end is creating systems and using automation. Who is using automation and systems? Who is using automation, drip campaigns? I can't tell you how much I love them. So I'm taking a break right now, right? Thank you, Motivate Her, for dropping the link in there. Yes, www.sizzlesense.com/7 days. I'm taking a break. I'm recharging my body. I'm doing a few other things as well because I am working with clients, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But because I have that system in place and people are signing up for the 7 days of the deals and they're seeing resources that they like and they're grabbing those, that's also working in the back end too. So one of the things I said I wanted you to do is, number one, and identify where you're feeling anxious, identify where you're putting a lot of crap on your plate that you need to get off your plate, right? But then at the same time, identify the fact that you're not always going to be in front of everybody. You're not going to always be manually doing some things. So whether you have a team or you're using automation, what can you do in the back end, right? So that you don't always have to be in the front end being the face of your business, right? You don't always have to do that. So I've been able to work, but minimally, right? Minimal work. So that I could take the much needed break that I needed, just because and it wasn't like, sitting in the bed, like, lights off, crying or anything. One of my clients, she was like, LaShanda, I haven't heard from you in 5 days. Are you okay? And I'm like, I'm okay. I always, I'm watching Parenthood. I've been binge watching Parenthood. And if you watched it, that the tears will come out. You need good breaks and you need good cries. So, because sometimes a good cry is just like, oh my God. Yeah, it's so like therapeutic, right? For real, right? Who's watched Parenthood, by the way? This, I know that it ended like 12 years ago, but I tend to watch things after the fact. I have not watched Game of Thrones. Don't shoot me. I probably will watch it in 2022, and then it'll be just as good for me then as it is for you right now. So I know that it's ending. I don't watch things when everybody else watched it. It took me like 12 years and a day to watch Lost, Ugly Betty. That's just me. It takes me a very long time to watch things. And so, yes, a random fact about me, but it's good because at the end of the day, you need to be honest. You need to be you, right? And for those of you who are really trying to figure out how to do a lot in your business, you need to understand that you're not an alien. You're not a robot. Oprah was not built in a day, and we all are entitled to breaks, right? We're all entitled to breaks. So I said to you, number one, listen to yourself. Good breaks important. Number two, know your limitations and high expectations. Balance them out, right? Balance them out. Where are your limitations? Where you find that you're limited personally as a person, you get the support that you need. There's some people who hate confrontation. I'm one of those people. I look, if I blow up on you, you don't want to be around, but I personally hate confrontation, right? So maybe you need to hire somebody who's going to do the hard parts for you, who's going to do the firing for you, right? Find your limitations and fill the gap, plug the holes. Plugging the holes is actually one of the things I talk about as part of my Focus Forward 5-day challenge. For 5 days, I share with you guys recommendations on how you can get better with your focus and moving forward. Because some of you have things on your plate for a few months or even a few years, and you need to move forward. You need to be able to get better at focus. So I said, listen, if you give me 5 days, we're going to do some 5-minute activities. I've got some power hour activities, 5 days, 5 hours, 5-minute sessions, 5-5-5 method. The Focus Forward resource is one of several resources that I share with you guys over at SistaSense.com/7 days. Okay. So feel free to check it out. If you have questions for me, let me know. But today I want to just kind of really and truly share with you the things that I'm doing to maintain the sanity and the success, right? So the next thing that I want to talk to you about being in different modes, right? Hey, you love, oh, thank you. Firecracker says, love this. Thank you. Thank you. So when I talk about being in a place where there's a lot you can do when it comes to adulting, right? One day I sat down and I wrote something called the 7 modes of success. And you can find it at sistasense.com/SSHH. It's absolutely free. SSHH. Yes, SHH stands for Start, Hear, Help. SHH. So www.sistasense.com/SHH for Start, Hear, Help. Why? Because a lot of times people come to me and say, LaShanda, where do I start? What should I be doing right now? Right? And for me right now, I should be focusing on myself, but I'm also in client mode. Thank you, Regina. Yes, sistasense.com/SHH. I'm in client mode. Client mode is when you're sitting down and you're working with clients, you're doing the customer service, you're doing HR, you're doing all of that stuff, right? So I had a few people who, through connections or whatever, reached out to me and said, LaShanda, can you help me build a website? I've been doing one-on-one private calls for people who want to work with me as a new client, web clients. I've been working with my ladies in my best seller boot camp for 90 days. We're working on creating content and we're working on their sales and their smart passive income. And the best seller boot camp has started. So I've been working with some amazing ladies in that program, and I've been doing a lot of one-on-one stuff. You know, for some of my clients, they're doing stuff and building their websites, and I'm helping them do those things. Why am I saying that to you? Because I've created the 7 modes of success, right? Last month, I was in marketing mode. Like literally every day I was doing video and I was, right? Now I'm tired as all get out. So I need a little bit of break. But at the same time, while I'm breaking, the time that I do have energy to work online, I'm doing that one-on-one with my private clients. So if you want to, you can read the 7 modes. It's really an easy read. It's absolutely free. It's like maybe 4 or 5 pages at sistasense.com/SHH for Start, Hear, Help at any given time, right? Hey, welcome. First time, but the 2 minutes I will be following your advice. The 2 minutes were good for you. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm glad. I definitely feel like I want to be helpful. So I'm glad that you're enjoying the advice so far. At any given time, you can be doing 1,000 things. Just focus on a few things for your sanity, right? So last month, I was very big on the marketing. This month, I'm very big on my client mode. I was in marketing mode. Now I'm in client mode, and I'm working with private clients and doing what I need to do there outside of taking the time that I need for my own personal mental health. Okay, so there are 7 modes that I've broken down. The first one is idea mode. So maybe you're in a space where, you right now should just be worried about what kind of things you want to do to make money, right? And then there is you being in a space where you're in marketing mode, where you're like, I need to market, I need to market, I need to put my stuff out there. Then there are times when you need to be in revamp mode. Maybe let me sit down for a second. Let me change things up. Let me bring it back out again, right? Any given time, there's a certain mode that you can be in. One of my favorite quotes is, Oprah was not built in a day. Okay, you know that. Oprah wasn't built in a day. And sometimes you can overwhelm yourself and literally send yourself insane because you want to be in 15 modes at once. You want to be the person who's making the money, creating the product, marketing the product, working with customers. And literally, unless you've got a team, you can't be 50 people all at once and keep your sanity, right? You cannot. So, focus on the things that you can focus on and leave the other stuff by the wayside, right? Leave the other stuff by the wayside. Awesome. Okay. Awesome. So when I talk about that, I want you to be able to identify what mode you're in right now. When I say that, I mean, what's the most important thing to you right now in your business? Focus on that. I was talking to a client, one of the ladies in my bestseller boot camp, and she said to me, okay, LaShanda, I know that we're going to be working on a book. One of our projects is working on a book, right? And she said, okay, I know that you've given us all these beautiful templates. Which template should I use? What should I was like, slow down. Slow down. I said, your task right now is to outline your book and write the first 2 to 4 chapters. You don't need to be in a template yet. You don't need to be creating cover graphics yet. We prep and then we tech. Right? And that's important for you guys to identify because some of you want to do 15 things at once. And you're like, I can't get nothing done, right? You get to the point where you're overthinking and underperforming. Anybody in that space? You're overthinking and underperforming. You want to do, I'm like, look, why do you want to go into the template right now? You haven't written anything to put into the template right now. So focus on the meat and potatoes. Write your chapters, right? And we're going to get to the template. We got 90 days to work together, right? So think about that. Where are you guys putting so much pressure on yourself that you want to be in mode everything? You want to simultaneously do everything when you really should just be focusing on 1 or 2 steps at most. Okay. So what mode should you be on? Right. The next one is just 3. Just 3. So, I said to you guys that I have been taking a good break this week and I'm so excited to be on live today hanging out with y'all, but I haven't been doing that for a while. I haven't been online for a while. And I was, again, I talked about before, one of those things was high expectations and high expectations and personal limitations, right? So right now, I'm like, LaShanda, I need you to be on live stream like every single day. I need you. And I've been doing pretty good. I've been doing a lot of lives, a lot of videos, but then I kind of crashed. I was tired. I needed a break. And I've been breaking for the last couple of days, doing little to nothing, right? But I said to you, automation has been helping me. I've got some things in the background. Number 1, working, not trying to work with everybody, but just focusing on personal, private clients and those clients that are in my boot camp. That's been helping me. Number 2, just 3. So there were days then, and you guys can let me know. You ever wake up and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this and this and this and this. And then you're like, no. No, this has not been a chosen break. This has been every day I'm waking up trying to get more things done, but my body is like, you still need to rest more. So one day I said, you know what, I'm just going to do 3. I'm just going to do 3 hours of work and I'm going to do those things that are top priority, connect with the clients I need to talk to, send out the information to the customers who need to get the information and the products that they paid for. Answer questions from people who are like, LaShanda, I need to sign up for your web services. Or one of my clients referred a client to me who said, listen, I need you to help me with my graphics. I want some Instagram graphics. Can you make them? Send out those responses, 3 hours. And then I went back, with my house dress on, curled up in the corner, got my orange juice, and then went back to relax mode. Just 3 hours. Just 3 hours. You know, sometimes we tell ourselves that we want to do 101 things, right? But one of my favorite quotes is, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So realistically, sometimes you can give yourself, sometimes I'll do 12 hours straight, right? My hubby does 12 hours at work. You know, he's got 12-hour shifts. Sometimes I'm just like motivated to move, and other times I can barely move. So if you're trying to build back up your energy, maybe you say, give yourself just 1 hour. I gave myself just 3. I said, just 3 hours, LaShanda. Do 3 hours of work, do what you need to do, get those top priority things off your list, and then go back to break mode, right? Be kind to yourself. Don't do nothing, but don't get to the point where you feel like you give yourself so high expectations. If you do not do everything on this list, you feel bad. You guys ever feel that way? Like, man, I suck because I didn't do everything that I said I was going to do, right? Screw that. I'm going to give myself 3 hours, and whatever I can get done in the 3 hours, bless God. And then after that, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not doing anything else, right? So that was number 1, just 3. Just 3. The other one was doing work for just 3 hours. The other one was giving them 3 things, just 3 things. So I reached out to a few of my clients who needed help, had questions, and I gave them 3 options, right? And for me, that works really well. When I'm trying to teach, when I'm trying to educate, when I'm trying to motivate, when I'm trying to direct, and I said, okay, well, here are 3 things that you can do, or here are 3 packages that I have for you. Give them 3, and then let them figure out which one works best for them, right? And so I want you to think about that, those 2 different options that you've got for yourself, either being in a space where you give yourself a finite amount of time, just 1 hour, just 2 hours, just 3 hours to get work done, and then go on to whatever else that you need to do. Stop overworking yourself or overthinking yourself. And when I say that, I mean, you tell yourself you're going to do all this stuff and you don't do it, and then you feel like crap, right? Give yourself some grace. That's going to help you with your sanity and success. That's number 1. Number 2, when I give myself these little increments of getting things done, eventually you get the Lego effect where more stuff has gotten done. Even taking breaks, things are still getting done, which is phenomenal, right? That's an important part of the process. But also thinking about working with people, right? And one of the things that I learned earlier on, when I was trying to be perfect for my clients, and I was anxious about people being upset with me, I would feel like the minute somebody sent me something, I had to respond. That was making me anxious because I always wanted to never make people feel bad, or never wanted to be that person that was not getting to them as quickly as possible. You can't do that all the time. And then the older you get, your body changes, your mind changes. I got a gray hair over here. We're not even going to talk about that right now. But you cannot be everybody loves Raymond. You cannot be that person for everybody, right? That's number 1. Number 2, let me see. I think making a written list works. A tick list. Yes, I call it a knockout list. Having a list is amazing. But number 2, being in a space where you overthink, giving people the right thing. You ever think that, like, somebody asks you a question or says, I want to buy something from you, and you're trying to figure out the right price. You're trying to figure out the right way to say it. You're trying to figure out the perfect thing for them so they don't say yes. They don't say no, they say yes. And that can cause you to go insane. So I love to give them 3 options because, for example, one of my ladies, my potential new clients is like, okay, LaShanda, I want to work with you. And I said, okay, well, first of all, here are my top 3 packages, number 1. And she goes, okay, great. I want to get a payment plan. Great. Okay. So you're going to do the $1,500 package. It has 3 options. Pick whatever option you want. You can do full part payment. You can do 2-part payment, or you can do 4-part, whatever works for your budget. Listen, I give her that. I go back to sleep. No longer am I sitting going, oh my God, can they afford $1,500? Can they afford $3,000? Is she going to be able to give me all the money today? Maybe she can't give me the money today. Maybe I could say, just give me a $50 deposit. No, I'm not going to drive myself insane. I'm going to give you payment plans. I'm going to give you varying packages. I'm going to give you 3, and then you figure out what works for you, right? And if it works, great. right? You paid me today. I'm ready to work tomorrow. If it doesn't work, no problem. You know, I'm not going anywhere. I've been online for almost 20 years. I'll see you when you come back, right? So either give yourself 3 hours or think about those people where you're trying to give them information or you're trying to give them a service. Give them 3 options or give them 3 pieces of things that they can do so that you're starting the conversation and you're doing something. You're not doing nothing, but you're not driving yourself insane. I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but I know that I can remember days where somebody would say, "Oh, I really want to work with you." And I would be so anxious. I would literally spend hours. I mean, hours just like overthinking an email. Like, what am I going to say? How much am I going to charge? What if they can't afford that? What do I do? And I don't do that anymore. I don't do that anymore. Just with the simple concept of giving them 3, giving them 3 options and they pick because we want to be perfect, right? You can relate. Yeah. I mean, we can think ourselves, either we can think ourselves out of a thought, right? Overthinking it, or we can over deliberate something to the point where we drive ourselves crazy. And I don't want to do that. And I don't want you guys to do that. And you get to a certain age where you feel comfortable either saying whatever the hell you want to say or doing whatever the hell you want to do. And I'm of a certain age. I'm not that old. I'm only 38, but I'm of a certain age where I'm like, look, I'm not going to jump over hoops, right? You either want to work with me or you don't. But I'm going to give you my best packages and I'm going to let you pick what works for you. Okay. So give them 3. Now, share you with your people. Share you with your people. How are you doing that? How can you do that today? How can you do that? Thank you, my dear, for being on here. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for that. How can you share you with your audience today? There are times when I sit down and I strategically go, we're going to talk about these 3 things in sales today. And I'm in marketing mode or sales mode or teach mode in that respect. I'm teaching today and I'm jumping on here to share today, but I'm just sharing me authentically. I'm just telling you that, girl, I've been tired. I ain't been doing a lot of work. I ain't been online that much. I've been sitting at home watching Hulu in my house dress. Eating some good food. One day I was like, Jay, I want some seafood. I just kind of went and got myself some pasta and some crab and some sushi, and I just ate that and then went back to sleep. So yeah, that's where I am right now, right? But being in that space, I wanted to share that because sometimes people may look at you and go, oh my God, you're so amazing. I'm not where she is. I'm not where she is. One of my favorite quotes, this is like one of my quotes of this year. Her success is not your failure, right? Because sometimes we look at other people and we're like, oh my God, she's doing the damn thing. She's so freaking amazing, right? And I suck because I'm not doing half of what she's doing. And I'm like, look, LaShanda, I get that this woman or these women that you're looking at, they're so amazing, but you're amazing too. What she's doing, her success is not your failure, right? It's okay to take a break. It's okay. You're good. You're good. So being in a space where you're not only sharing with people, let me teach you something so you can see how smart I am and I can sell you some of my products, but let me just tell you that I'm a real human being. People resonate with that as well. I don't know if you know that. I know that. I'm okay being on here in my house dress talking to you today, right? Because maybe somebody needs to hear this and maybe I can teach and educate and motivate without me always talking about marketing, without me always talking about sales. And I do that. Sometimes I come on here and I talk about other things beyond money and marketing because sometimes those other things are more important than the money and the marketing. Just real talk, right? Just real talk. So for those of you who are trying to figure out content creation, connecting with your audience, building relationships, I need you to understand that you need to share more of you. You are missing in your equation right now. You're not being real with people. You're not. And some of that is feeling like you need to be overqualified and you need to match up to the people that you're seeing. And those people, they got shit going on too. They're not perfect. They're not. One of my favorite quotes that I saw recently is, sometimes we get hung up. I'm just going to paraphrase because I don't know the quote off the cuff, but it essentially was like, sometimes we get hung up because we are comparing our back end to other people's sizzle reels. Like, look, What you see on social media, obviously, is a sizzle reel. People are going to show you their best because they want you to buy their stuff, right? And they want to, who's going to put like crappy photos on? Unless they want to give you a laugh, they're going to show you their sizzle reel, their highlight reel. You're looking at their highlight reel and you're looking at all the logistics of your messy back end. And you're like, oh, they don't mash up. They don't look the same. Well, shit, you're not comparing your sizzle reel to theirs. Right? You're comparing your hot messiness to their amazingness. And you're like, what? Right? So share more of you. Share more of you. And here's the thing. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to give you guys a secret that I've been doing as part of my little break here. I said to myself, LaShanda, and this is a personal challenge. How many of you, like, you get up in the morning, you check your social media, or at least 10 times a day, and you don't even know how many times a day you check social media because you just do it so naturally, right? Well, turning off notifications, number one. So my Gmail is always like, I turned off all notifications. I just went into Gmail. I was like, no, I don't need to know who's emailing me right now. No. So I don't have notifications on right now. But the other thing I said, LaShanda, if you're going to go on a social media platform, like I'm on Facebook right now, the first thing you got to do is you got to share something. You got to create content and you got to share. So if you're not going on to create content and share, you're not going on there. You're not going on Instagram to scroll and read and see everybody else's stuff. You're not going to be a consumer. You are a creator, right? Right now you need a mental health day or several mental health days, to be honest with you. So, and that challenge has been so amazing because literally I've consciously been and sometimes I was like, oh shoot, I'm on Facebook. Okay, no. Bad LaShanda off Facebook. And I was like, oh, but my babies are graduating. My niece and nephew graduated. They're about to go to high school. I'm like, oh, but the babies, I was going to miss them. It's like, okay, no. They cute. Take the screenshot, the picture, get the hell off. Get the hell off. Number one, because we subconsciously whisper to ourselves that we're not as good as we need to be. And I put myself in a guilty place. Why are you sitting here watching Hulu on the couch when you need to be getting and doing work? And no, your body needs a freaking break. So don't push yourself because you're looking at everybody else and you feel like you need to rush because they're doing all this stuff. Great for them. You sit the hell down and take your nap. Number one. Number two, don't sit there and go, oh, wow, she made that much money today. Oh, my God, I need to go and sell something. No, you don't need to sell anything today. You got systems. You got your 7 days of deals. People are buying stuff. People want to, you to work with them on their web projects. Work with people who are working with you and checking in with you. No, right? So I said, I know that social media can subconsciously screw the hell out of us. So I said, unless you're going on to create content, you cannot go on these platforms. Not to sit there and consume stuff and then whisper in your head and tell yourself that's going to drive yourself insane not to do it, right? The person that you're going to talk to the most in life is you. You are going to talk to you the most in life. So you better check how you talk to you. And I'm always checking how I talk to me because I make money through me. If I'm not feeling good, the business is not going to make money, right? If I'm not motivated to create, nothing's going to happen. So you got to check yourself and you've got to be consistent about sharing you with your people. If you're not sharing you with your people enough, how are you going to do that? Not just teaching or not just showing people how smart you are, but showing people how human you are, because that's a big part of the conversation, right? Now, PCS, you need to have more personal clarity sessions. I tell you guys, I have clarity calls with clients all the time. You go to callme.citizensense.com. Call me, CALLME.citizensense.com. You can schedule a call with me, right? Book a session, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 3 hours. I'm here for you. Clarity, money, marketing, and sales all day, every day. As a matter of fact, yesterday was Wednesday. I have my clarity calls on Wednesdays. I had a webinar with one of my clients and we always have fun. We've been working together for years. I love working with newbies, but I love my OGs, my clients that I have amazing long-term relationships with. Now, when I do clarity sessions with my clients, we sit down, they ask me questions, I help them to get clear. You do that for them, you got to do that for you. So I said, LaShanda, okay, it's been a couple of days. You haven't done much of anything. Before you do anything, sit down and have a PCS, a personal clarity session. That's one of the things I talk about when I talk about my Focus Forward 5-day challenge that I do with clients, a 5-day challenge, so that for 5 days I can help you with your focus, right? Help you get better at setting real habits that can Stop the procrastination, stop the overwhelm, go from full plate to fully focused, right? And one of those things is sitting down and saying to yourself, okay, well, what needs to get done? Okay, what do I need to finish? What was I supposed to be doing? Where should I be right now? Right? I had a personal clarity session with the ladies in my boot camp. I said, right now we're on week 3 of the boot camp, and you guys may be doing great, or you may feel like you need to catch up. Where should you be right now? I'm going to tell you where I think you should be, but let's talk about that, right? You need personal clarity sessions so that you stay sane. I check in with me at least once a day, but definitely I will lie on my couch or on my bed or on my floor for at least 3 to 4 hours a week just to check in with me. This is where you are. This is where you need to be. Because sometimes you check out. Sometimes you check out. I had to pay the mortgage. I had to buy graduation gifts. My kid's got a kids fest coming up tomorrow. He's like, Mommy, I need you to go to the Dollar Tree and buy hats for all the boys for kids fest. And I'm like, really? You know, you got kids fest coming up and you need me to go buy hats for all the boys tomorrow. Really? You know, your kids can drive you insane last minute telling you stuff like that, right? But I did it. And a part of it is just kind of sitting down and checking in with you. Because this week was definitely a checkout. This week was me checking out of the web, checking out of social media, checking out of my business a little bit, not to a huge degree, but a little bit, so I could check back in with me. You need more personal clarity sessions if you want to maintain your sanity. I did a live web class a couple of weeks ago, and I talked about how to stop pushing back your plans so you can push forward with your vision, especially those of you who got some amazing things that you want to do and you haven't done it and you've been thinking about these things for months or years. Stop pushing back your plans, right? We talked about that. And one of the things I said was you need to sit down and have more time for yourself. And this is important because as adults, you don't realize your routine. You get up, you brush your teeth, you get your kids ready to school, you pay your bills, you go to work, you da-da-da. And there are all these things that you keep saying you want to do, but you don't make the time for them. Hey, Tracy. Mwah. Hey, my dear. Thank you for joining me today. You don't make the time for the stuff that you want to do, which means that sometimes, awesome. Just somebody texted me about WhatsApp. And I hate WhatsApp, but okay, I'll open it just for them. I hate using what they were like, do you have WhatsApp? And I guess they want to send me some pictures or something, but I hate WhatsApp. And so, yeah, those things that overtake, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, guidelines and boundaries. That's the last thing that I'm going to talk about today. Those things that overtake your schedule, you need to be aware of that. You need to understand that in order to move forward, you can't simply think that life is going to give you the time to do the things that you want to do. You got to make the time to get those things done, which is why personal clarity sessions are so important. Do you journal? Oh, yeah. I'm always like, before you get online, get offline and get a notebook. Like I have like 1,000 notebooks. And then I went to Office Depot and spent like $30 on new notebooks. And it's funny because I'm like, LaShanda, you weren't supposed to buy these because you're coming out with the new notebooks that you've got, my personal brand of Sister Sense notebooks, my work, pray, slay, repeat notebooks. But I couldn't resist. I was like, these are $1. Journaling is so important. My personal clarity session is always me, the floor or the bed, and a notebook. So that for at least 3 hours, I'm just like, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. I can look at everything and then I can come up with a game plan. And then, of course, I have these, my sticky notepads. I'm not one of those people, and you guys can let me know, are you one of those people who you have like a whiteboard with like 1,000 notes on it? I'm not one of those people. Those things drive me crazy. Regina says, don't sleep on $3 notebooks in the front of office. I know, right? Well, girl, $3 is too much for me, boo. I got mine for $1. And the good ones too. They had 5-star. They had the med books and some thick ones. Where are they? Okay, I'm not getting up in this big old house dress, this muumuu that I got on. But there's somewhere here. I'm gonna get up because I want you to see the notebooks. I want you to see the notebooks. Let me see if I can go get the note. Pren, you come here. You do a dance. You do a dance for them. Okay? You promise? She's like, I'm going back to sleep. I don't know what you talking about. Do a dance. Hold on. Let me get them notebooks. Okay. Oh my goodness. There's one other thing that I have to share with you. Okay. Let me go get it. Okay. So hearts, love, share, all that good stuff. I'll be right back. Okay, so I just ran downstairs. If I'm a little winded, you're just going to have to deal with me because I'm not the most physical person in the world. So, you know, I love when I get to come on here and share random crap with y'all, right? You know, that's like one of my things that I like to do. Prin, you were supposed to do a dance. You were supposed to do something, mama. Okay, go back to sleep. It's all right. I have the perfect dog. You know when they say like you know, after a while, like your pet becomes like you or whatever? Like Prin and I, we sleep, we eat, and then we do a little work, and that's about it. Goodness, this dress. Okay, so I'm sitting on it, and it's doing all kind of stuff. You know when you got love in places you don't want people to see, so you try to sit a certain way on the camera. And now that I'm coming back, I have to adjust myself. And you see random angles of me. Old ladies that just don't work too well. But oh well. Oh well. Hey, whole sister. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I'll show you guys this in a second because we're talking about journals. Ooh, I cannot break the graduation bag. The graduation bag. My hubby graduated. He's got a degree in industrial engineering. Yes. And we had such a good time. Then we've got another graduation. Okay, so here are some of the notebooks that I bought, right? So I love this conversation, and we're talking about 7 solutions to sanity and success. Who has notebooks? Who has notebooks? I have my new journal. It's called the Good Morning Girl Boss Journal. Did you guys get your Good Morning Girl Boss Journal? Where is the, okay, oh my God, I gotta show you the journal. Okay, see, you started something, Regina. Hold on. Okay. Old lady house dress. Work with me here. Okay, let me, I've got too much stuff and not enough places to put them. Okay, I'm not gonna freak out. I'm gonna go and get the other journal because I left one more thing and I'm gonna be right back. Okay, y'all, remember, sistersense.com/7 days, okay? Make sure you go there and you sign up for the 7 days of deals. And if somebody can drop that into the comment box, I would love you forever and ever and ever. And ever. Okay, I love you forever and ever and ever and ever. Okay. Okay, old lady dress. Work with me as I slide back on. Hopefully, I don't have ashy elbow syndrome today. I'm black. What do you expect? My hubby was like, your elbows are kind of ashy today. It's like, and I'm so random. I go back and I watch these web classes sometimes and I'm like, I cannot believe you said that. You're so random. Okay. So I love notebooks. I love journaling. They keep me sane. And all of these were like either $1 or $1.50 at Office Depot. Like this is when kids are graduating and the summer comes, this is like the best time to go to Office Depot and Staples because they have some beautiful stuff. right? And I just loved the colors of these. So everybody needs who has a green pen? Everybody needs a green pen, because when you use the green pen, that's the money pen, right? I always love to have a color pen set. Green and purple are my two favorites. I don't like to write with black ink. I don't know why. But yeah, these are some of the notebooks that I got, some of them. So that's number one, notebooks. I definitely am a notebook kind of a girl. Not only do I buy them, but I also create them. What's today's date? Can somebody drop the date into the comment box? I still have gel pens. Oh my God, don't even get me started. Right? You know, you have to have certain types of pens for certain type of things. So mind you, I have not gone to the gym yet. So don't yell at me, because I have the membership. I'm going to go. But just walking and moving, you see, I'm starting to get the glow up. I'm starting to break a sweat. So let me turn on the fan real quick, because it's hot up in her. Okay. Woo! I need to be comfortable, y'all. I don't have time to turn on the air conditioner. I just need something. Let's try to get not so disheveled and somewhat not so old lady-ish on the camera. Okay, so here's number two. This is mine. This is the ultimate good. It's called the Good Morning Girl Boss Journal. I created on Instagram. For 30 days, I shared these motivational messages, and then I turned it into an ebook, and then I turned it into a journal. There was a young lady who actually messaged me and said, "Oh my gosh, I found your Good Morning Girl Boss on YouTube. Do you have a print version?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." The journal you can grab, and it's at sistersense.com/GMGB, which stands for Good Morning Girl Boss. So I love the bestseller bootcamp that I'm doing with ladies right now for the next 90 days. We're going to be working on books, and also I'm going to be giving them my journal template so they can make their own journals as well. I asked you guys for the date. Thank you so much for that. It's the 16th. Okay, awesome. Because this is 30 days of motivation, but there's also journal space in there as well. This is my journal. I wrote everything that's in here. And the concept is every day you can pick the date and then go to that day and see the message for the day. So today is the 16th. So I'm going to go to the message for the 16th if I can find it. Okay. Ooh, this is a good one for today's message, actually. And here it is, so you guys can see. I know I have the ring light on, so it might be a little bright. But here is the message for today. It says, "Boss, create what you like. Don't psych yourself out worrying about what you think they're thinking. Sink so deep into you that you can't help but tap into gems from your deepest desires. True passion ignites the kind of fires that keep everything lit. So stay lit. Don't water it down, messing around, trying to figure out what they want or like. Stay true to you. Let that pure light come through. You'll know when it just feels right." So don't psych yourself out. Don't overthink what other people might think or what other people want. Just produce the deepest, truest, realest, awesomest things that you want to do. Because some of you overthink and stop yourself from producing because you just want to share what other people are doing, right? You just want to share based on what you think other people want from you, right? And that's crazy. So hold on. I'm going to jump back on. Because my Instagram just dropped. And I guess maybe I hit my Instagram limit because it just dropped. I've never been on Instagram for as long as I was on for just a while ago. But it's so important that you don't overthink, right? And my apologies for y'all on Instagram. I don't know. I guess I hit my time limit there and it just kind of dropped out on me. But don't get into a space where you know you want to create stuff, you know you want to put yourself out there, but you're not doing it, right? Because you're psyching yourself out, worrying about what everybody else is thinking. So that's actually the message, day 16. in the Girl Boss Journal, don't psych yourself out worrying about what you think they're thinking. Sink so deep into you that you can't help but tap into gems from your deepest desires, right? All of these you can read on my Instagram at SistaSense, or if you would like to get the journal or the ebook, the Good Morning Girl Boss ebook journal, you can find over at sistasense.com/GMGB, which stands for Good Morning Girl Boss. So the journal templates, I have several journal templates, and these are some of the things that I'm working with the ladies in my my boot camp, my bestseller boot camp that's happening right now. We're going to do content creation. Well, we're doing, because it started already, but we're working on creating products, we're working on sales, and we're working on smart passive income. So while I love when I'm in a space where I get to be jumping on and doing live streams every day, when I can't do it or when I take a break, I am still doing other things in the background, right? I want to share this last thing with you guys, and this is actually what resulted in me going to Office Depot. So for my hubby's graduation, I wanted to do something personal for him. So I put together a collection of photos, and he's going to kill me when he sees this. He's not going to see this, so don't even worry about it. And then we had family. We had like 10 people in the house, and there was an unexpected graduation party that came, and I wasn't expecting it. So I made this for him. This is like, I was going to do it journal style, but I did it photo style. It says, "It's truly a wonderful life." And you know, he's going to kill me because he's going to be like, "Why did you share these pictures?" But it wasn't going to come for the party. So I went to Office Depot and I printed out like a small version of it for the party. I gave him that one. And then I got a bigger version. So here are some photos of him and the mini me and fishing, and just like, you know, you think that your life sucks sometimes, you know, and that it's hard. And we've been through some hard stuff. I mean, you know, we've been through a lot of hard stuff, but at the end of the day, we're here, we're alive, we have a family, we have friends. It's a wonderful life. So these are templates that I designed, and I put this together in Canva and I printed it out, and I'm super, super excited about seeing what some of my ladies in my circle are going to create using some of my templates. Here's my son, by the way. I'm just going to share you like 2 pictures, and then I'm on to the races to something else. But here's my son. No, that's my hubby when he was a boy. Here's my son, who I think looks like my hubby in that shot, but he says he does not. And then this is, I think this was like Thanksgiving or something. I don't know. I'm like, "You look like your dad." And he's like, "No, I don't." And everybody's like, "He looks like you, LaShanda. He does look like you." Random family. Well, no, I think this was bodybuilders. My hubby loves bodybuilding. So I'm not going to show you pictures that he would absolutely kill me for showing, but I think these are absolutely adorable. So these are the last ones I'll show you, and then I'll stop. He loves animals. This is our cat Bolt. This is another one of his cats from very long ago. I think this was Chi-Chi. This is he's actually kind of small here. This is his boa. This is our boa. I say his because I don't deal with snakes. But anywho, I love creating. Yay! So you got me started when you said, do you use notebooks? Do you journal? And as much as I love, you guys, you tell me if you have notebooks and journals and things of that nature. I love buying them. I also love producing them. So the Good Morning Girl Boss Journal, it's there for you. It's there for you if you want to go grab it at sistasense.com/GMGB for Good Morning Girl Boss. And for those of you who are in the boot camp, we are going to be making your book, your journal, and all this other awesome stuff. I just had a young lady sign up for the boot camp, I think 2 days ago, because I haven't shut it down yet. And I was supposed to shut it down last week. But she was like, "I really want to be in. Can I be in?" And I was like, "Okay, fine." But yeah, I'm not really working with large groups right now. I'm just kind of working with, my apologies, I'm trying to figure out how to put this thing back into the bag without breaking the bag. Okay, fine. I'll do that later. I'm just working with, people who I'm supposed to be working with. So last thing that I'm going to say with you today, because I need to go. It's time. I've been on here for forever. Is what's this last one? Yes, clear guidelines. Okay, so that's the last thing that I'm going to talk about today. And I forget. I said to you something. Oh, the WhatsApp thing, which was random. I hate WhatsApp. Who uses that thing? I hate it. I'll tell you why. I like that people love to send things on WhatsApp and motivate, or, here's the thing for today. But you always have those people in your world that they send you like 12 things every day. That drives me crazy, number one. But number two, the fact that WhatsApp saves those things onto your phone, and maybe there's a way for me to turn that off, right? You love it? I hate it. Maybe there's a way for me to turn that off. And I only say, okay, if it's like my nieces, my nephew, I love those. But then sometimes people send these random photos and I'm going through my phone like, what the hell is this? Which is why I don't keep it on. But it's a great segue into last part of this conversation, because you have to set guidelines for your clients, for your customers, for your spouse, for your children. If you want to keep your sanity, you have to set clear guidelines for everyone, right? So you guys probably can't see it, but I got like a gray hair that's like, poop, like right somewhere in here, right? And my hubby is like, if you don't, he was like, one day he was like, and I was like, what are you doing? He's like, you have a gray hair. I'm trying to get it out. I was like, are you kidding me? Leave it alone. And he's like, and so yesterday we were at the bank and he's like, you got to get rid of that gray hair. I mean, he loves looking like he's like 13, right? Never mind, we're almost 40, but he looks, younger than me anyway. We're like just a few months apart. Both Geminis, by the way. So you can imagine being in a house with two Geminis and a Scorpio child. Woo, that's a whole other story. But I mean, I get that you're fixated on the gray hair and you don't like to see it. And you like when we look young and youthful and all that other stuff. But I don't know what I'm going to do with this gray hair. And I'm not ready to pluck it or dye it or whatever you think I should do with it. I'm completely comfortable with it. So leave my damn gray hair alone. Set guidelines. And I know that it's a small thing, but it's actually a big thing, because how people want you to look, or how people want you to talk, or how people want you to build your business or live your life can be so encroaching that you subconsciously do, whether they're in front of you or not, because sometimes they're actually talking to you and other times they're talking to you in your mind and you're thinking, well, this is what this person would say. And I have gotten to a point in my life, and honestly, I think I've always been this way, where I'm like, I don't give up. Yeah, I got a gray hair. I got probably about 15 up in here. They're going to stay right the hell where they are. Just because I have this one, don't mean I need you to pluck it and put 3 in its spot. No, I get that you don't like it. And sometimes I'm like, oh God, look at this little gray hair poking out here. But guess what? It's my hair. It's my decision, right? I've got a client. I absolutely love her, but she suffers from anxiety. So sometimes she'll go, oh my God, this is and I'm like, I'm not that person. I'm very even keeled. I'm very, I don't have a pina colada in my hand, but it seems like I do, because that's just kind of who I am, right? Did I say am or ham? I think I said who I am. I don't know. I say that to say, she checked in with me this past weekend and I was like, okay, I didn't want to say, oh, that's what's going on is not a big deal, because I understand how I feel is not the same as how she feels. And I never want to be like, oh God, it's not that big deal. But I was like, okay, it is the weekend. I am going to get to it on Monday, but here's what we need to do. We need to bring it down a little bit. And let's do it this way. Let's adjust it this way. I did a session and it's in Focus Forward, and I talk about being a non-confrontational person, which I am. Any non-confrontational people in the building? And I said, here are some things that you can do when you don't want to say no, right? And I said, replace no with not. So, and I'll give you all of these great solutions. I tell you, the Forward Challenge is 5 days. It's absolutely awesome. And it's one of the things that I share with you as far as one of my great resources that you get a great deal on over at ZizzZense.com/7 days. But in that, I talk about how you can say no without saying no, and that's by replacing it with the word not. And when I talk about you creating clear guidelines, one of the things that I do is I say, okay, not that way. not that way. I understand that you're anxious right now and you want this and you want this, but we're going to work through it, but not that way. Because you got to be able to figure out a way to do things that help you maintain your sanity. And you may not either agree with or completely understand what the person is asking you, as Prin has a field day going through the pillows over here. But you don't necessarily have to completely shut them down. You can say, I get what you're saying, right? I know, right? I get what you're saying, but you don't have to say no. You can say, look, I'm going to work with you, but not the way you are looking at it right now. This is what we're going to do. What clear guidelines work for you? So I want you to think about that. Those of you who are feeling either insane or feeling that other people's ways of doing things are encroaching on you, I want you to be able to identify a process that you think makes the most sense, so that you can say, okay, well, let's do it this way. Let's find this solution. And we had a great call, and I got to be able to say, this is kind of not the way I do things, and I can't take on that anxiety. I will help and I will support you, but let's kind of basically, let's get off the ledge, talk her off the ledge. Let's work through it and get past it, right? I don't want to be passive aggressive. I don't want to be pissed off. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to force myself to do things in a way that I know doesn't make sense. I'm going to figure out a solution that works for me and will work for you as well, okay? So I want you to think about those things, right? What's happening in your life right now? Who are you working with? Is something happening and it's not necessarily working for you? You're getting stressed out. They're driving you crazy. You need to set clear guidelines, okay? That's going to help you. That's going to help them. My phone number is Fort Knox. People email me all the time, LaShanda, I'm so-and-so. I'm so impressed by you. I really want to talk to you. Can we get on the phone? No. No, you can go to callme.success.com. You can schedule a call. You can send me an email. You can leave me a voice message when you're on the success.com website. You can click the gray tab on the right, send me a voice message. And when I feel comfortable, I'll sit down. I'll send you a voice message right back. Right. I'm not going to give out my number so that, 3 o'clock in the morning, random people are texting me. No. And I see my girl Adonia here. I love her to pieces. Thank you for the hearts and the love. Adonia was one of the amazing ladies who's had, well, I wouldn't even say she's had the pleasure. I've had the pleasure of being able to work with her one-on-one, coming out here to North Carolina and work with me. And I said, listen, you got my cell phone number. She's like, I'm not going to email you like that. I know it's Fort Knox. I'm not going to be texting you like that, LaShanda. Set clear boundaries and guidelines. And I'm like, you know I love you, boo. You can text me whatever. But that's important, because if you don't, then you're going to have people who they expect you at, because it's important to them at 2 a.m., they expect you to get up at 2 a.m. and give them a response or do it for them. And you will drive yourself crazy, right? When you put yourself in situations where you're doing things in systems and processes of neurotic people or obsessive people or compulsive people, and none of those people are doing things that work for you. You may love them or respect them on one level, but their process or the way they're thinking or expecting you to do things, they're encroaching on your personal rights, and you need to fix and correct that, okay? So that is it. I didn't anticipate this being so long, and this was a really long one, but I do long ones sometimes. These are my 7 solutions for you on sanity and success, my girl bosses and guy bosses out there. Number 1, I want you to listen to yourself. Number 1. Give yourself good breaks. When your body needs to break before broken. Number 2, I want you to think about your high expectations versus your personal limitations. Find a balance, because if you're type A and you're driven like myself, sometimes you'll put a lot of stuff on your plate. It won't even be other people. It'll be you putting a lot of stuff on your plate, right? But you got to be able to find the balance. And I find that when I understand my personal limitations, I find things that can balance me out. Meaning that if you know that this is where the buck stops for you and you can't do those things, find other resources or other people to help support you where you're finding yourself limited. Don't push your personal limitations to the point where you break yourself, right? I appreciate it. Great live chat. Mwah. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you were able to join. Yay! Number 3, as I quickly go through this recap for you guys, is to understand that there are modes to success and you don't need to do everything every day. Oprah was not built in a day. What mode should you be in right now? Be okay with just focusing on a few things, which brings me to number 4, just 3. Whether it be just 3 hours, I'm just going to work for 3 hours and then go on to something else, or I'm just going to give them 3 options or 3 resources, just 3, and then keep on keeping on. Number 4, share you. You're missing from the equation. You don't always have to be smart. You don't always have to be perfect. You don't always have to teach. Share more of you. Be authentic. Be real. If you're broken, if you're tired, if you're frustrated, let people know, right? Share more of you. And then we go to number 5, PCS, personal clarity sessions. I do that for at least once a week. Check in with you more. Sit down, get clear about where you are, where you're supposed to be, what you're doing, what you're not doing, where you want, before you just jump and blindly just act and move because you feel like you're behind and you need to be doing things. Sit down, relax, get clear, and then move forward. One of my favorite acronyms, STOP, S-T-O-P. You need to be in a space where you stop, think, observe, then proceed. Stop, think, observe, proceed, right? Stop just moving quickly. Give yourself personal clarity sessions. Where am I? I think I'm at 7. Is that 7? I think that's 7. And set clear guidelines so that, you're setting personal processes that work for you. And you're in a space where you're not letting other people's perceptions of you or other people's systems overtake and make you anxious, right? I get that they need these things and they're at DEFCON 12 and they're like, you don't need to be that way. Don't let other people's anxieties or rushed feelings or angry feelings transfer onto you. Set clear guidelines for you. Okay? So that's it. I'm done. I may do some work today, but honestly, I think I'm going to go eat something and go watch some more Parenthood on Hulu. And then I'll maybe do some work later. Alrighty, my dears, that's it. Mwah. I appreciate you guys for hanging in here with me, and I'll check in with you later. If you do have any questions for me, feel free to email sistasense@gmail.com. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, that's sistasense@gmail.com. That's me. Or if you want to send me a voicemail, when you go to the sistasense.com website, click the gray tab on the right to send me a voice message. All right. And of course, if you want to take advantage of the 7 days of deals, just go to sistasense.com/7 days. All right. I got some great deals for you there. And that's it. That's it for today. Signing out. Bye, Instagram. Bye, Facebook.